Hello, my crafty friends. Hope you're all doing well today. This is Denise at Crafty Dendy, and we're going to make a card today. Taking a break from Thanksgiving cards and Christmas cards. I've been really enjoying the snowman cards, but I had need of a card that was a little more masculine and not seasonal. So we're going to make a birthday card using this stamp set. Game On. We've got It's Your Day, Roll With It, Hope Your Day Is All Fun and Games, and Lucky Me Because I Have You. We've got chess pieces and cards and dice and like a game board there. So let me show you where that's at. That is in the annual catalog, and it's on page 28. And here we have it. We can all see it. And we've got some samples there. It says, let's hear it for the boys. All right, well, let's take a look at this. So we're going to start with our usual A2 size base, which is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Night of Navy. This is that I'm using. I'm going to cut it in half, and then we're going to score that in half. And then we're going to have the next layer decided to make it in cherry cobbler. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos, you know I love cherry cobbler. So that will be our next layer. And then after that, we will layer on the Whisper White. All right, now I'll have all these dimensions for you. So this is going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4. Well, that's what it is when it's folded in half. And then we have our cherry cobbler, which is 5 1/4 by 4, and then just slightly smaller, the Whisper White, 5 by 3 3/4. And I will have all those dimensions listed below. All right, so let's just work with this layer for now. All right, so in this stamp set, we have the game board piece. I have the pieces out already here. Let me get my block. So what we're going to do with this, I'm going to actually use Misty Moonlight ink. I have that handy. And I tried it a couple ways, and one was stamping off so it would have like a lighter background. I find that it really doesn't make much difference. I'm just going to grab this scrap over here. I just let it set on there and then put it down on there. Just makes it a little bit lighter. Just going to work on our background here. Just adds a little something. There's no right or wrong to this. Just stamp it all in any way you want it to go. You don't have to worry about, well, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just paper, right? It doesn't have to be super neat in the middle there because we're going to be putting the chess pieces on top of it. So let me get my handy cleaning chamois. If you don't have one of these, you got to get one of these. This is really great. So clean that off with just water. All right, I'm going to swap that out, and we'll get our sentiment ready for later. And there we go. All right, set that aside. Let me put this away. Well, you know what? While we have it out, we should go ahead and stamp our sentiment, shouldn't we? Okay, so I am using Hope Your Day Is All Fun and Games. And I just had scraps. We've all got scraps, right? Just little pieces of paper. So this is a Whisper White. It actually measures 2 by 1/2. And we're going to go ahead and stamp on there. Let's see if I can do this without getting my head in the camera. And there we go. Hope your day is all fun and games. All right, I am happy with that. We'll close this so I don't put my elbow in it. Let me clean my stamp. All right. Okay, we've got that. Now, what I did was I stamped these pieces. I don't know why I decided to use red for the chest pieces. It is cherry cobbler, other than the fact that I really, really like the cherry cobbler. I did another one in another color, and I'll show you that when we're done. But for now, we're going to go ahead and stamp on here. Now, does anybody like fussy cutting? Because we're gonna do a little bit of that. I'm gonna put this on here. And we're gonna stamp it there. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Looks good. You know what? Since I've got room on here, I'm gonna go ahead and do another because I find that it's just as easy to make a couple cards while we're at it. All right, looks good. Don't you love the detail in that? I think it's great. My husband teaches chess, so he actually asked me to make a masculine card, and I said, ooh, I have just the thing. So I'll close this up once again before I stick my elbow in it. Now, when we cut this out, I like to leave, okay, not that much of a border. Okay, you can see on here, left just a little bit going around it, almost like it was cut with a die. All right, I should have let this dry. You know, my cherry cobbler is very juicy, so I should have left it alone to dry. But I just wanted to show you that fussy cutting this out really isn't a big deal, but do let it dry. I smeared it a little bit on there, but you get the idea. Just go around, leave a little bit, some people call it a bubble. Leave it a little bit of a bubble around the edge, and we just head on around the head of the knight. Get rid of that. Like I said, you should probably let this dry, but you know, sometimes it's hard to wait, isn't it? Let's get that. Okay, I think this is like the first time that I've actually done the cutting on my video. Alright, go ahead around. Just, you know, take your time, do this in front of the TV, watching your Hallmark Christmas movies. Does anybody else like Hallmark Christmas movies? I love Hallmark Christmas movies. And does anybody else live in a state where, you know, people are starting to think about Thanksgiving and moving on into the holidays, and it's still 90 degrees? All right, so there we go. Looks good. I did smear it a little bit down there, so word to the wise, let it dry before you start handling it. So guess what? We'll use this one. Okay, it snips away, and we're going to put this on here with our dimensionals. Now, if you are going to mail it and don't want the thickness of this, I really don't know at what point the post office says give us more money. I don't, but if you're going to hand deliver it, use all the dimensionals you want. If you're going to mail it, You might keep that in mind. All right, I'm gonna put that on there. Wasn't that nice? With the game board stamped in the background. Oh, I love it. All right, here's our sentiment that we stamped in Misty Moonlight. And that actually did dry, so that's good. Now we also have this little scrap of cherry cobbler, which is 2 1/4 by 3/4. So let's go ahead and stick these together. And let's see if I can get it straight. All right, and I think since this is already raised up on dimensionals, we'll go ahead and raise this too. Did I do that on my other one? Oh, I think I did. Okay. Get that on there. Take the little backers off. Oops. Helps if you put it right side up. Isn't that cute? Hope your day is all fun and games. Let's see. So that's similar to how I did that, right? Oh, so the sentiment's in a little different spot. That's what makes them all special. All right, so let's get our other pieces over here. And we're going to center this as best we can. And okay, another word to the wise, make sure you put this on where it opens this way. Anybody ever done that the wrong way? That happens. You just cut it off, trim it down, and stick it down again. All right, hope your day is all fun and games. Now, since this is a very dark cardstock, we're going to go ahead and stick another piece inside here so you can write on it. And stick that down. And there we are, all set. So I almost forgot to show you, like I mentioned that I would, how this looks if you didn't want to do your chess pieces in the red, or the cherry cobbler, or the cherry cobbler layer. So let's take a look at this. So on this one, I decided to use basic black. Same thing, it was full size, cut in half, scored, folded in half, so that we have it at this point. This part here is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So then we're going to take this piece. This will take the place of the cherry cobbler side. So it's one less layer. So let's go ahead and stick this down. I started already stick it and then ran out of tape in my tape runner. So I decided to pause that and start over. So let's go ahead and stick this down here. Just eyeball it, get it in the center. I stamped the background the same way. So this one I stamped in soft suede, just for something different. So let's go ahead and stick this on here. Find my dimensionals. Down. So I did the same thing. I stamped it in soft suede and then I fussy cut it, but I didn't cut it really close to the edge. I left it just like a die would cut it. And I think it looks just great. So there we have the soft suede. Then I thought, oh, you know, should I still use a cherry cobbler on here? Or I could stamp directly on there. I did like the Misty Moonlight. I don't know. What do you think? We could use another piece of black behind that. Do I have one handy? I don't have one handy. You know, okay, we all know this by now, Denise, that I love the cherry cobbler. So I'm just gonna go ahead, stick this down on here, put this up on dimensionals. Okay. Oh. And put that on there. What do you think? I'm not sure about the cherry cobbler behind, but you know, you can play around in different ways. What do you think? Which way do you like it best? You can let me know. I think I really do like the cherry cobbler and the extra layer. But you know what, if you just saw that one, I think people would be pretty impressed. And they would get the idea that, you know, you hope their day is all fun and games. All right. Thanks so much for watching. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. If you like this video, would you please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, as well as hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you next week. Bye.